Welcome, Black.
Welcome, Black. You are listening to the Seeds of Revolution, Daughters of the Whirlwind podcast,
where we discuss legacy, history, resistance, and forward movement.
The revolution is live.
Hey, sisters.
Hey.
How y'all doing today?
Doing good.
On this fine day.
Yeah,
it is
doing well.
December. We've made it to December.
2024.
Yeah, this is it.
2024.
Yeah.
Wow.
2024 went by just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that. So we are about 55 years and 5 days away from a very tragic event that happened on December 4th, 1969.
Yes.
And so on this episode, we'll be talking to a very special guest, Chairman Dr. Fred Hampton Jr., about that event and about his life and how he continues on the legacy of his parents, both his parents, Fred Hampton, and his mother, Akua Njeri. So yeah, let's welcome Brother Dr. Chairman Fred Hampton. Hey, how are you?
I'm well, my sister, my family, cousins. How y'all feel?
Yeah, feeling good.
Good to see you.
Let me get great to see y'all. Let me get this background and let them know I'm doing the interview. I'm on live right now doing the interview. Comrade.
That's right.
That's that real right there.
Right?
Yeah, let them know I'm doing the interview. Yeah. Okay, cuz. Okay, I'm back with y'all, family. How y'all? It's great to see y'all. How y'all feel?
So great to see you too.
Yeah.
And it is, you doing that, it just speaks to the fact that you're always working, always in that zone.
Yes, indeed.
So for the people who don't know you, I want to just offer a little bit about who you are, share a little bit of the long bio that I know is not even, the extent of everything that you do, but just a little bit about the good chairman, Dr. Fred Hampton Jr. He is the international chairman of the Black Panther Party Cubs. That is an organization that prides itself, amongst other points, of continuing that ongoing struggle for self-determination. He is the son of slain Black Panther Party Illinois Deputy Chairman Fred Hampton, as well as his mother comrade, who he refers to as Mother Comrade Deborah Johnson, now known as Akua Njeri. He continues to fight to protect, respect, and never neglect the legacy of an organization that was willing and in many cases paid the ultimate price for the liberation of our people. There's so much more about Fred Hampton Jr., but I'll stop there because we'll learn about him as we have our conversation today.
Yes.
And so to start off, I'm a professor of Africana Studies. I don't know if you know this, but I'm always wanting to share with folks who don't know, because there's so many that don't know, whether they're young, college age students, like between 18 and 25 or so, or even if they're elders, they just don't know our stories and our histories. So if you could just start off by telling us, who are your parents?
Again, I'm honored and humbled to be on here with y'all, family. My parents are Chairman Fred Hampton and also Akua Njeri, formerly known as Deborah Johnson. Chairman Fred was the deputy chairman for State of Illinois, the Black Panther Party. My mother comrade, she was the rank and file on the finance cadre, which was under Lieutenant Barbara Sankey, which all fell in the leadership of Chairman Fred. They were revolutionaries. My mother still is. I say, I'm gonna say Chairman Fred. Chairman Fred. Again, both of them were revolutionaries, and that's something I'm glad you asked that question, because a lot of times we made y'all a foregone conclusion that people know what that is. What a revolutionary is, and I've said on a number of occasions, even recently, I said I'm a revolutionary in reactionary times, and these, they were. It was more, I guess, more grasp who these forces were during the late '60s in particular, which was a revolutionary period, because people can relate to that. That as late great Malcolm X, El Shabazz has assessed, the complete change, and that's some forces. The more I work, the more I organize, the more I come to grips with the fact that there's something that people not, they may say they can relate to that, but it's to see that complete change, to be able to relate to be able to see forces who was sacrificed for the greater good of our people. It's an African axiom that goes something like, what's good for the family may not be good for the community, but what's good for the community is good for the family and the community. And you see examples. A lot of people have they have examples, or they see situations where people say, well, I can do this for my, that's my own, their own respective household, or for their own, more than even as an individual, but that for our people, and to take it in, not just in them. When people hear the term, sometimes you hear people have the term revolutionary. They even see it in a reactionary sense. It's like devalued to just that of the armed warfare aspect of it, and not to devalue that dynamic, but again, the way we relate with each other, the way we deal with contradictions. We have contradictions, we have issues, but it's the way in which we deal with it. There's a politics. You say, okay, this cat is a hustler or is a gangster. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain politics that goes with that. The way the ecosystem, how they interact with each other. There's a politics to a revolutionary. And it's an outside looking in, without that understanding. A lot of people can't relate to it. And you hear about examples of, freedom fighters, saying Black Panther Party, and you hear about examples of, sisters going through having labor pains, but still proceeding with the free breakfast program, getting the food ready for children, to sacrifice the people who you don't even actually know. It's kind of like in that Spike Lee's version of Malcolm X, with Spike Lee's character said to Malcolm, he said, "What's the hustle? What's the hustle?" And that dynamic of understand that, again, to serve the people, and not just in a reactionary sense, but to be armed with an ideology. You know what I'm saying? To be able to weigh theory and practice. And another example, I guess, with movies that was Birth of a Nation, when Nate Parker go out in regards to Reverend Nat Turner. Well, it was situations where, with one brother, with a slave master, took this sister, which was a common practice with slave master, took the sister when he raped her, and how the science that Nate Parker portraying Reverend Nat Turner, saying, I know it's difficult, not now. Check our emotions. And then even to see when he was beat himself. To say, hold fast, but for the greater good. Chairman Fred talked about that revolution is a scientific art that must be perfected, and it's something this no one can negate. That this can be emotional. It is emotional. It happens to our people. What we go through on a day-to-day basis. Every day, it's an attack on our manhood, our womanhood, our childhood, our humanity. But to be able to be scientific with it without that simultaneous, not compromising, because it's coming out to Ernesto Che Guevara with the Cuban Revolution said that a revolutionary, no matter how preposterous it may sound, is guided by the most sincere sentiments of love. So there's a love for the people, but don't get it twisted. Ironically, we at the Hampton House right now as I'm talking now, and we get we have some interviews set for the day, and a situation happened earlier. Well, this brother in the community was doing some cleanup, and you can see he kind of got it twisted. Like, sometimes we love the people, but this ain't no turn of the cheek type action either, though. You know what I'm saying? So it's a balancing act, and and especially dealing with of that concept of so people not being able to relate to that, like serving the people. And that time we've been damaged and attacked so much. it's kind of like you see some, people talking about like in relationships sometimes, people mistake kindness for weakness. So to be able to have that balance in that, because a revolutionary to serve the people at the same time to be respected, and again, be armed with that theory, and not just moving up the whims and emotion what we would like to do, but again, for the greater good of the people.
Ashe. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I love that you said that about the revolutionary, because oftentimes, we take for granted like what that means. It's now, a term that's being used like to describe razors, like to shave your hair. And we see commercials, it's been completely co-opted, and we don't necessarily understand those nuances that you pointed out. So
yes,
thank you for that.
Yes. And I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna go with that with that razor. It cuts us. It cuts when we, when we a lot of times people don't understand the significance of it. It cuts us. Family. The situations. Family members be on the run. Hunted. Slandered. Not to mention the economic, the opportunities that, that many people can have, and not just not to take them for stance. There's one thing I tell people, a lot of people escaped chattel slavery, but Harriet Tubman went back.
Right.
To the others. And it's cut. It cuts, and it also even not to have the ability to argue. And I found myself struggling to articulate this, because a lot of times it's falling on deaf ears. You know what I'm saying? And it's not whether a person wants to hear you, but incapable. You know what I'm saying? The timing. I tell people, I use the analogy of relationship. I'm sure people go back in their lives and you know what? If I was a little bit more mature then, that relationship could have worked out. This wasn't a bad person or vice versa, but in the movement of people to say a climate, but see, it's dynamic. It's our respective childhoods. It's certain things that the pickup that we had to, the grasp certain things like the seriousness of situations, and then when people and that's sometimes you can get it hurts. Again, it cuts. But the razor just tricky, kind of trigger something about not being able to relate to that. You know what I'm saying? But also, still maintaining that love.
Absolutely. Powerful. Very powerful. So I'm going to be the first to ask you a few questions today. So Cousin Fred, the first question I have for you today is, why do they call you chairman?
Right on. I'm the international chairman, Black Panther Party, because and that's the structure is something this kind of goes. It kind of taps into the discussion we just had of struggling for that structure. I recall scenarios where subconsciously people they respect other entities. They whether it be in entertainment field or the medical field. Saying the doctors, so on and so forth, or different monikers or nicknames for different artists. They say, okay, it's important to do that. It's not an ego tripping thing. It's again, structure is a dynamic, in particular in a revolutionary organization, revolutionary field that's necessary. It's a necessary ingredient. And America in particular, one of America's policies, their actual policies, is to create chaos and then restore order. Create chaos and then restore order. And that's sometimes the way imperialism, the way it sells everything, but in particular way it sells that dynamic. So it's attractive. Like, oh yes, that's wonderful. We all come together. We have the same thoughts, and we just dismiss all sort of structure. You can operate that on a basketball court. If you come out there and say, okay, well listen, we're gonna play this game. Whoa, wait a minute. Who's the point guard? Who's the forward? So who is the center? Okay, when to bring the ball down? We're playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? Because again, you're not just playing in your own bubble. So especially in regards to talking about a revolutionary politic, of clarity. You know what I'm saying? You go in the medical fields, people say, well, no, it doesn't make a difference between the kidneys and the livers. No, there's a big difference. I just, photographer was here dealing with me recently, and he was struggling with the time, and he was saying something to me about this camera, the way the light hits it, and it's stuff I was not even familiar with, And from the naked eye, I was like, "What's the big deal? We could do it over here." He said, "No." He said, "What? You see this? You see how the sun hits it? With structure with a revolutionary organization, the arteries and veins of it, the checks and balances of it. You know what I'm saying? They say, okay, wait a minute, this particular duty or responsibility. When contradictions happen, and contradictions do happen, to be able to trace. So where did this come from? What did you say? What cadre? You know what I'm saying? Where did this fall from? What was the ball drop? You know what I'm saying? So we can be able to deal with those contradictions, and it's something that that I don't take lightly. I'm held accountable. And I know myself. I like many people, well, really all of us, but I know I can say I need structure. We need structure, and it also not only for help me as an individual, but for our people to be able to relate to something, to have an organization. It's not just this emotional. Yeah, I'm mad about what happened to us. So again, that checks and balances.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much. Mm-hmm. Cousin Chairman.
Cousins.
Fred. Now, brother.
Congratulations on that too.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, indeed.
The next question I have is, how has the release of the box office biopic of your father aided in the development of more support in relation to your father's legacy and rebuilding and or saving of the Hampton House?
And we're talking about ups and downs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ups and downs. In fact, what this the table I'm sitting at, literally right under the table in the Hampton House. Mm-hmm. I literally recall when the discussion was going on in regards to if the movie was going to happen. Mm-hmm. Daniel Kaluuya sat here, Dominic Fishback, Shaka King, Ryan Coogler, his wife Zinzi. And I remember the struggles that we had, even to get to that point, to call and say, wait a minute, we have to meet with these people because you take into account the politics of Hollywood, the politics, how historically how we move. It's just when stuff is written, this is how it's going to go, so on and so forth. The battles and struggles that we had to go through. On the preface with that. In fact, I recall we said we have to meet with these people, and at the time at the Hampton House there was no water, no running water, no heat, no nothing, and we called, and the people telling me, well, that's not how it works in Hollywood. You just can't meet with the people. I said, well, I'm not from Hollywood. I'm from Inglewood, south side of Chicago. We have to meet with these people, and we said there's character and character. So we was fortunate to get, come on, we refer to as a dream team, but there was a lot of struggles. And I said, some of the cons, people see you on the TV once they think, oh, you hit the bankroll, you straight. And we say, no, that's not the case.
Right.
And like in so many arenas too, I tell a lot of people we pay the price for our politics. Mm-hmm. Because there were certain situations, we can see if what Tupac would say, me and my big mouth, because we can't. Once we know certain things, we held accountable this responsibility. And I remember struggles. They were saying, well, if you let this go, let this slide. You know what I'm saying? And you might can benefit, but we had to hold. We held the line. Mm-hmm. It's a long-standing respect and relationship that we have these four the cast amongst others, and it was able to. In fact, this Monday, I'm speaking to some youth here. Elementary school students, and the movie is going to. They're going to show the movie. We'll have a Q&A. We have a curriculum that we came out. You know what I'm saying? Of the Hampton House and the participant media. So it played. It's a good propaganda piece to get some information out, because we know it's Mr. European say our people don't read as much as we would like for them to read. We have to be innovative by different tactics. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be movies, whether it be conversations, whether it be our brother Bilal. He just ain't playing. He just playing the saxophone. Right. Or you're gonna leave that event tomorrow. What's to happen with Imam Jimmy Al-Amin update? So we have to be innovative with our tactics and strategies, and we define the phenomenon. We only define us.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. I love that.
Thank you
so much. That's so important. I liked what you said about defining the phenomena and don't let it define us.
Yes.
And how you pointed out, you have to find the different methods to get the message out.
Yes.
And you said, though, which caught my ears, of course, was when you said the curriculum. And you know, last year, one of our students interviewed you about your father.
Yes.
I definitely want to talk to you further about even introducing that curriculum and showing the movie at our school, because we do a lot of just history lessons when Dr. Asantewa does the Africana Studies program for us.
Yes.
So that would be a beautiful collaboration. So we'll speak further on that.
Let's do it, cousin. Right on.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would love to like follow up just on that. Like, what made you say yes? I love the fact that you talked about having them come to the table, because we know Hollywood is Hollywood. I teach a Black Hollywood course, and so we always have this conversation about representation and about, you know, positive and negative and all the things in between, and, you know, how we're represented, and really the limited ways in which we're represented. And one of my gripes is that anytime we're talking about Black revolutionaries, we're always like caricatured. You know, it's always, you know, we're made fun of. We're the laughing stock.
Yes.
And so I really appreciated the film. I know that, you know, we're not here to promote the film, but we are here to promote the story of the film and what's behind the film. And so that was one thing that I was proud of as I watched. It felt authentic, and I could tell that you and your mother's voice and your guidance was a part of it, because it wasn't that caricature that we've seen in all the movies.
Yes.
Like, up to date. So maybe talk a little bit about that process, because you said, you know, you met with them, but maybe share like maybe at least one anecdote about, you know, how you had to bring them to some of the realness, you know, out of Hollywood and into the real.
It was a battle. I still wake up sometimes and jumping up, hollering, "Cut! Stop!" You know what I'm saying? You know? And things we I can't look at a commercial the same now. I look at the particulars of it, you know. Yeah. And this is a good conversation, even especially right now in this particular time, with a lot of contradictions are being exposed. You know what I'm saying? Regards to Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? Yes. But you know, we look at the history, like any dynamic. I think it's important that we don't take a reactionary assessment of it. We look at the history of it. You know, like you look at even how Rome, how they would use entertainment. You know, there was a policy that Rome would have when the centuries of the soldiers were out conquering other parts of the world. They would say, increase the games, and they would bring out, you know, so because the people would say, wait a minute, if there's less soldiers here, it's time for us to uprise, and they say, increase the games. It's kind of like in that movie, 12 Years a Slave, when, you know what I'm saying, when they was taking this slave master was taking the sister's baby. He said, play the violin. And it can be entertainment, and like in this with a double-edged sword. It's important, you know what I'm saying? But again, a lot of people say, well, do you think it's going to tell a whole story of Chairman Fred? So you can't put a shark into a fish tank, you know what I'm saying? You can't. Again, this is Hollywood, so you got to be, you know what I'm saying? But big, we wanted to do, as we say, put that Panther Cub peel in the applesauce. And even if the battles about things that people take as minimal as a title, I mean, we had some serious struggles. In fact, you know, a lot of people like talk about it now. One of the initial titles they had, which we said it's a no-go, we couldn't even move forward the conversation. And this was Jesus Was My Homeboy. That was for quite some time, several months. I just happened to find this right. This happened to be sitting next to me. That was they had to change it to. It was called the Untitled Project. Because this is while they were still struggling going on while they were filming. We wouldn't go with that title. Yeah. And even down to the script, down to the titles of, you know, this, you know, because at first it was, you know, negating certain dynamics of the structure. Hey, Fred, hey, hold on. No. This was not a ragtag group of individuals. It was a structure, checks and balance, the politics, how they, you know, how they carried the gun. I remember struggle in particular. the scene where the sister who played she was one of the part she portrayed one of the party members, but she was on security.
Yeah.
And initially, the scene that the police came to headquarters, she just came out shooting, and that's cinematographically speaking. It was great. You're like, wow, everybody cut. I said, it's a wrap. I said, no.
Yeah.
I said, no, it can't be.
Yeah.
And we struggle. I say, you see all those people walking down the street, and you saying this just came out, blazing, I said, it was a politic. I'm saying, how you deal with the gun, how you view the gun, it's rules of discipline.
Yes.
And a lot of people was like, oh, I said, no, this is significant to us. You know what I'm saying? This is significant. And we struggle back and forth. I said, also, even the narrative is always given that we run around and rah, we looking for something, No, we would, I say, in fact, the initial name of the Black Panther Party name was the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense.
Yes.
And I say, really, even people now today, even if they think they're doing something, if they being reactionary, they kicking something up. No, don't flatter yourself. You ain't kicking up nothing. This is everything this tied to a history. You know what I'm saying? This I'll be saying, I can't believe what's going on with the country of America now. It's so racist. It's certain times when the contradictions are heightened, but it's there. It may go dormant. It's like coronavirus. The coronavirus ain't gone. You know what I'm saying? So capitalism, historically, is always going to attack on us. Straight out, blatant beating us down, with shooting us down in the school system. The attacks on us is consistent. So when we move certain things, Malcolm X said, anything that the oppressed does to get the oppressed off his back is justified. Mm-hmm. And so with the narrative we're given, I tell people, why do you think the police are trained to, when they beating you, to say, stop resisting? You know what I'm saying? Some people are actually confused, like, what are you talking about? But they're trained to say that, you know what I'm saying? To give that narrative that you're doing something. Mm-hmm. So that scene, we struggled with that. I remember that, and we got it, changed. You know what I'm saying? Well, they didn't shoot first. Things like the race dynamic. How the narrative. A lot of people grow up and they only see situations where, dogs supposed to chase cats, cats supposed to chase mice, and white people supposed to be in control. That's I'm talking the music industry, movements. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause like it may be called support or solidarity, but it's really, wink, wink, we're going to come control, you know what I'm saying, the narrative. That wasn't, this was a dynamic of self-determination, instead of us on our own terms.
Yes.
And in certain scenes, I recall when Chairman Fred, who authored the Rainbow Coalition, when he came into to talk to the group, the Young Patriots, and the white group from the Appalachian Mountains. Mm-hmm. When he walked in, initially, he came in, the white, who's portraying preacher man, leadership of the Young Patriots, he was up on this podium, and it was like a light behind him. And Chairman Fred was looking up, talking to us, and said, whoa, no. I said, we can't. I don't go to that church. That can't happen. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be, not just be intentional, non-intentional. It's just a given. That's how, you know what I'm saying? And I said, it's the politics. I said, in the communities here, it's a big thing for the foreign merchants. They, you go into the store, to the phone stores, they be looking down, say, I can't talk to you like that. I can't be looking up at you. And even the politics of how you sit is, it's political. Was it Queen Nzinga? The Portuguese, the Portuguese, and they called for a meeting with her. And when she came, just by happenstance, they didn't happen to have no chairs for her. Her soldiers automatically knew. They got on all fours, turned to a human chair. You know what I'm saying? And she sat down. So let's proceed with the meeting. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When they take you to a police station, that one chair is uneven. You off balance. That's political. It impacts you. I recall a situation. I was in I was in one of the courthouses here in Cook County. I just came in and we do court support to watch someone's case. So I came in. This notorious judge. I forgot. I can't recall her name. Soon I walked in. She said, "Oh, you should take your hat off." I said, "You know what? I'm leaving. I'm gonna leave it out anyway." She sent the bailiffs, "Go get them." They really brought me back in, and they was like, so they brought me back in, and she said, "You're gonna hold him here You know, and it was terrible, but it was good about it. They put me I ended up in the jury box. So I sat in the jury box, and I'm sitting there, and I'm watching people come in, and I'm watching how I'm looking at them. This lady was about 70-some years old on a walking cane, and and the way they talking, your man said like she's criminalized. You know what I'm saying? I said the way the chairs are seated, everything. So we have to be cognizant of this. So that was some things on the movie we had to be on point for. The different dynamics of who came in, who said what, all of that. And it's not. I recall one situation that I brought. I said, wait a minute. I said, everybody said, damn. I say, because initially, the Panthers, it was all the Panthers smoking cigarettes. And somebody was telling me, Chairman, you weren't live with cigarettes. I said, no. I said, I wasn't around doing chattel slavery either, but I know certain things too. I know. I utilize dialectical materialism. Right. I don't think the Black Panther Party was the only one smoking cigarettes. I say so. Mm-hmm. It's important how a generation today may see this. Because because you don't smoke on TV now. I say, can we at least balance it out? Because the feds and the white people, they smoke. And so they say, wow, we never thought of it. They say this was a big budget for cigarettes. And it could be something that you may think is as small as that. Right. One more thing was brought to my attention later. The scene, the kiss scene, when Chairman one naked. I recall always on there, and I was like, oh, make sure he approached a certain way. She approached. I was down because I know how the mindset go. People think, is this? Is someone taking advantage of their leaderships? And so the balancing of that, I recall that, and they like, Chairman, you gonna be here for this? I gotta be here for this. I say, hold on, come with this. What about this? What about this? And then the sister who plays Spurgeon Jake Winter's auntie, Aiyisha Joy Powell, she brought to my attention later. She said, Chairman, did you know it was a law in Hollywood that Black people would never be shown in a loving relationship?
Yeah. That's true. They don't want it seen. Yeah,
that's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like my sister said, I loved the movie, and I felt like it was done in a way where we could see, we could see you and your mother's impact, and that you were fully in it to make sure that it was the best representation possible. And so I appreciate and respect the fact that you all had to fight to make sure that it was done properly, because growing up, as Panther Cubs and us hearing these stories of what happened to these leaders, I always felt, I don't know, it was just something about, Chairman Fred Hampton's story. And I was like, this man was so young, and he was just fighting. He was courageous. He had no fear. And he stood up to these folks, and that's really what made him mad. And our parents, we have, so many stories of what happened, when we were growing up, and the different things that we had to deal with. And, me being the oldest and seeing so many of these things and having these stories and these memories of all of these things. And as a child of revolutionaries, and then, being a revolutionary yourself, because in our own ways and all of the different things that we've done, we are and continue to be those revolutionary children. We're still a threat to the society, and to the
I'm knocking on wood,
And, how for you, because I have my stories of, walking out to the Fed, standing in front of my door, not even trying to hide the fact that they are standing in front of the door. Coming to the door, knocking on the door, as a child, trying to get me to open the door and talk to them. What happened? Give me one or two examples of that for you, because I know that that's something that you've had to deal with your entire life, especially carrying that powerful name. So with that, I'm sure they want to scare you.
His brother, I'm not, you brought back brought back a lot of memories too, and this is again, it's always it's therapeutic for us to even have this conversation. His brother, he's having some health issues, and I just talked to him a little while back. He was taking me back. He said, man, I recall finding out who you were. I said, yeah. He said, man, he was about 12, 13. He said, man, we was running through the streets and everything, He say, man, he say, I don't know if it was past curfew or something, man. He say, it was something. He say, we was out there, we supposed to be in the house. I said, okay. He say, man, those detectives, he say, I remember they were detectives, they weren't regular police. He said, when they pulled us over, he said, man, they threw us from the car. And he said, they said something to you like, you out here hanging out, you should, your father be ashamed of you. And he said, you told them you're a police. My father you should be ashamed. I said, my father be ashamed. And he said, I didn't know who you were, and I remember he said you told me, but he said I really couldn't grasp that, And he said the movie. He said the movie. I'm gonna be 55 this year, and me and him about the same age. No, in fact, he's a year older than me. And that I recall riding with this one brother. We in the car, and he come on saying, why you keep looking in the rearview mirror? Don't you got your license? I said, yeah, exactly. That's why I'm looking in the rearview mirror,
Right. You know what my license say?
And that's the extra hindrance to be in the climate of not, what I'm saying? I mean, like, now, people are seeing certain things as a conversation, to have certain discussions, but I'm preaching to the choir, what I'm saying? Y'all know, just growing up, this impacts everything, we was in this police station, they had us, 63rd and Racine is closed down now. And about 7 of them, they took us from high school. I wasn't 17, that'd be 16. And about 7 of us, I don't know how this happened, but our last name was Hampton. And the younger police come on saying, which one is related to D. Hampton? So I tell people, I said, this ain't the Price is Right, so ain't nobody jumping up saying nothing. We sitting there. The older police said, what's the problem? He said, man, I don't know which one. He said, oh, man, he pulled a file cabinet open. And he got a fresh photo of Chairman Fred, took it to each of our faces. And when I was the third one, he said, that's your man right there. Wow. And this is just, to be it's something that it's a given with us, what I'm saying. But again, with the being deprived of the climate, what I'm saying, because it hurts. I mean, it cuts harder to not, what I'm saying, to be like in denial, what I'm saying. But we don't. I mean, one high school I went to, and I was the principal, every time I was great high school it was, and the principal, he looked at me, he would always, he would approach other students real hard, but he would turn around and he'd see me. And I was asking, I said, man, what's going on up here? And some party members had told me, say, oh yeah, we forgot to tell you, we had took their school over and demanded Black Studies before. I said, duh. You think I should know this? I'm running around here trying to figure out what's going on, And there's so many, and there's so much that we can't talk about.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? We can't go on no Dr. Phil couch. You know what I'm saying? Just want to pour out our, you know what I'm saying?
And don't want to.
don't want to. And don't know what I'm saying? And there's certain things that we have to hold. That people have to respect. That they, just like I tell you, they respect that they can't, like they are incapable of grasping. Because some people you can't pour principle into people. You can't, explain, why people would be, serving breakfast and make sure other people are fed. They don't know their names. You know what I'm saying? It's that sacrifice. But the steps you have to respect it. This who we are. This is what it is. This who we, this we are. We love the people. You know what I'm saying? I know people can lay out and say, well, look at this, and they can show you all other. You have a different definition. You can't distinguish. A lot of people, they have a different definition of living as opposed to, how you look at living, how you look at existing. I say, some people can look at, you can look at the frame, you can look at timeline of Puffy Combs or whatever, and say, well, look all the money he has, and look all the long, how long he's been there, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to a park. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's the principle, the legacy, you know what I'm saying? The examples, the impact of people. You know what I'm saying? That, and if that's not your cup of tea, so be it. But don't you're not gonna take that from us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to have that, you know what I'm saying? To have that frame of reference. You know what I'm saying? And once you, it's a feeling. It's a feeling, like I think DMX has said something. He said, well, being unselfish is kind of selfish. I said, what you mean? He says, it's a feeling we get too. You know what I'm saying? And it's the way we operate. And again, you can't explain that to people. You know what I'm saying? But it transcends the time periods. You know what I'm saying? It's a you hear people all throughout the world. You mentioned the Black Panther Party, or it's a common language. It transcends, geographical borders. You know what I'm saying? It's something like you have different. You have they call pulpit politics and prison politics. But the politics of, I tell people like in Chicago, the organizational question is a big thing. And there's a couple of tattoos that you can come in with that people say, okay, that's good. The love mom, that's the Black Panthers say, okay, that you have to be aligned with either one, and it's I forgot where we was going with this question. I guess we'll call it with this. Yeah,
it's okay. You covered it. You covered it.
You
covered it. Because it's important and it's interesting because, like you said, there are a lot of things that we can't talk about and still can't. It's because we're in this stage now where we're telling our stories to an extent.
Yes, right. Oh, yes, right on.
And it's important to do that.
Yes.
Especially just educating the masses on who our parents are.
Yes.
So, and who we are, because they're a representation of them and what they contributed to the world, and even people not knowing that. So with our mom, who is our ancestor and is always with us, what she did, using her voice as part of it, as a singer, but also as a Black Panther Party member, when I was not even one. So in 1968, she was singing with Mary Makeba in Sweden. And this was when, our Uncle Kwame Ture, aka Stokely Carmichael, was married to Miriam. We call it Zenzi. Her first name is Zenzi.
Yes.
And while they were doing that and touring all over the world, they would also talk to the Black people wherever they were about the Black Panther Party and about the plight of Black Americans in the United States, and letting them know that it's not all good over there, because everybody wanted to come there. This is the land of the free, home of the brave. And they're like, nah, we are fighting over there. And we're going to tell y'all what we were fighting for and what we're fighting for.
Yes.
So how important do you feel that it is for more of us, more Panther Cubs, to share our stories and, especially the rich history, of certain Panthers that existed that people don't know about? Because a lot of mainstream now, people want to be associated with the Panthers. They want to dress like the Panthers for, these Halloween celebrations. When I seen that a few years ago, I was like, wow, this is really interesting. But how important do you feel like it is for us, more of us, to share our stories
and control that narrative?
It's imperative. We got a saying. We say a lot of times people are Black when it's beneficial, play Panther when it's profitable, and connect to Cubs when it's comfortable. We got skin in the game. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people got skin in the game. It's important. You know what I'm saying? And the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're not gonna romanticize this. We say the pros outweigh the cons. And there's certain things that are in you that can be and don't come in from the responsibility. Well, I got to be this frontline freedom fighter, whatever. But just to even because you don't know, the system knows. This system is similar. I forgot what time period it was in South Korea. They would lock a person up for 3 generations. They would the weed up out of them. What's the saying? They say, no. You think you packing your bags? You finna go? Oh no. You stand here. You're your child and your grandchild. We know this was in you, and it's you have to. I mean, again, and to also have an objective analysis. A lot of times when people look, they get this. We given this obliterated or maligned history. You know what I'm saying? Either wiped out or watered down. And certain things. And all children are subjective. All children. People say, well, not my child. So okay, yeah, right. The child sees their, I think about that. I think back when I was locked up, and my daughter came to visit me, and she was like, like looking to come out. And I think back when the piece about Asada Shakur, was a daughter to come see her. A child sees, you mama, you dad, you can do. And there's certain things that happen that saying that the system will exploit to say, okay, that if you have a narrow or subjective a viewpoint of it, but the people say, whoa, wait a minute, this is what was going on. The world, you know what I'm saying? The impact to give examples of manhood, womanhood, childhood, you know what I'm saying? That contradictions and all. Again, we said the pros outweigh the cons. To have that, you know what I'm saying? To even it's important, like even the relationships, you know what I'm saying? There were contradictions with relationships under contested conditions. You know, without the ability to have these conversations, and we need to interact with each other, you know what I'm saying, and have these conversations. Because I was in El Salvador, and they had this meeting. They called people to come together. I said, "Where we going?" They said, "Come on, we go." And they people, the children of the conflict. I said they would come a reference to the conflict with U.S. aggression in El Salvador, and people was there, and it was the first time they were coming to this wall with these names on the wall, and their mothers and fathers the first time was telling their actual names. And I say, now, if you don't know, you outside looking, you're like, man, what kind of mother, what kind of father you had? You don't know, you know what I'm saying? But it had to be put in context that the agent of provocateurs, the infiltration was so high, you couldn't even take you know what I'm saying? That's how people might say, well, they shouldn't have had no relationship. Okay, that sounds good. Go, come back from the dream world. We'll be on the real, we'll be out here in the real world doing reality. And there were certain things and dynamics that had to be put in place, you know what I'm saying? But if you not without that analysis, you come up, it's not, you know, so you just can't look at the people just broke up to the attack on relationships, the counterinsurgency, the letters, you know, the quote unquote competition. I'm talking about, you know, people getting resources and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't get a job. You can't get resources. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all these different things to put it in context and to be able to know who you are. I remember as a child speaking. I would hold my hands down when I was embarrassed. When I seen Chairman Fred speak on demand, I said, "Oh man, this is what they do." You know, I said, "This is where it come from." You know. So we, I say, an orphan horse is the most difficult horse to raise because you know what I'm saying, because it doesn't know basic things about trotting and walking. You know, even and it's difficult because again, these are reactionary times. I laugh at people that, you know, one brother, he did 27 years. He knows my speeches better than I know. He talk about the struggles we had before he was locked up. He said, "Man, I remember you said this. You remember you said that. You know, and you know, certain things it's in us. You know, and we gotta embrace it, you know what I'm saying? And even though, you know, some certain time periods, you know, it's not a popular conversation, you know, but we got amongst, you know, saying us, and it's a lot of commonalities that we have to be able to relate to. You know, we ain't got to, you know, even verbally express it. We like, you know,
Yeah.
We appreciate
holidays. We ain't with it, you know what I'm saying? And we still, you know what I'm saying, move around and people, you know what I'm saying, like y'all weird, what's going on, you know what I'm saying? You know, but you know, they hold the line, you know.
Yeah, you talk about that's a good segue, and I really wish that we could keep the conversation going.
You'll have to come back again.
No doubt. They say comrade. They tripping. Okay, good. We good.
Okay, good. They ain't tripping. Good. Well, two things. I will, because I had two questions that I really wanted to, you know, give some air to, give some space to. But I'll connect first what you just talked about in terms of, you know, how we grew up and just having to tell those stories, it being imperative that we tell those stories. And one of the things I was looking at another interview you did, and you talked about waking up at 4:30 a.m. every morning, and you know, in the role, you know, that you've been given, the cards you've been dealt in this life, and just knowing that, you know, most people won't understand, you know, which is why these conversations are therapeutic for us, because we're seeing ourselves, you know, and we're hearing that, okay, we're not alone. Like, we know that, but the more conversations we have, you know, the more we feel like in community with each other. So like, how do you, I mean, that's a deep thing, right? You know, this episode is going to air 5 days after the 55th anniversary, you know, of your father's assassination. And for you to wake up at the time that the raid happened every morning still, how are you? You ain't got to give away all your secrets, but, for those of us who are on that healing journey and those who are listening, like, how are you taking care of yourself? How do you, for lack of a better term, like cope and manage and navigate, emotionally and spiritually, given this role that you've been given, by the Creator?
I struggle. I haven't this morning. We still doing some renovating work. We was renovating here at the Hampton House, and I said I'm gonna stay here because I want to be late for these other interviews. And we working, and I said I stayed in the Hampton. I stay here in the Hampton House, and I be moving. I'm working on stability too, like because I say it like jokingly, but I'm looking at my suitcases right now. I live out of suitcase. I'll be bouncing here and there. And sometimes I wake up, I'm like, damn, this is a different time zone. I'm still doing it 4:30. And this morning, I woke up and I said, man, it was 4:48 when I did the clock. So I've been up for a minute, so it was around 4:30. I looked at the phone. And I was like, damn, I said, did I go back? What did I rest at? Did I moving around so much? But I study history, and not in the abstract sort of way, you know what I'm saying? I look at how forces dealt with certain things before. This is my cousins. We don't quality time outweighs quantity time. When we see each other, this helps us again to be able to connect. You know what I'm saying, and then be able to even. The work is a good therapy for me also, you know what I'm saying? The work, you know what I'm saying? Constantly organizing. That's, some sometimes people say, Chairman, you need to sit down and get you a breather for a minute. I think it's also like an outlet for me, just doing this and with the work, you know what I'm saying? But again, we are the impact of that. And it's I talked to a brother a few nights ago. He was shot up. He was one of this. We was talking about the upcoming December 4th, gonna be the 55th year, and I just talked to Defense Captain Mark Clark's niece, and he was saying the brother. He said, "Jam, I need to say the trauma with this." I said, "You know what? It ain't really the trauma with me." I say with this, I say it's traumatized trying to articulate to lay this out to people. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, to express it. I look forward to a time where certain conversations can happen. You know what I'm saying? That people can relate to it, and just that's something that's. I tell people when I was locked up from I mentioned I'm a former political prisoner. When I was in the infamous TAM, the Supermax. The brief period I was there, the Supermax. I remember they happened to bring all of us down to these cages and there was a Supermax, and then you was seeing all these different people, and they were like, they say, that's such and such, that's such and such. I'm hearing all these different names, these legends. And there's one brother named, they tell him turn down a little bit. Henry, the Brisborn, and Brisborn, he's like part of Illinois history, like this, the case I-57, they say he posed, they charged him with shooting some state troopers. But every time he was said to be executed, they said Brisborn would get out on the police and get a continuance, for his, they made up a law, said, look, your execution date gonna be your execution date. And I'm hearing about Brisborn, and I seen him. I don't think I know he wasn't even 5 feet tall. He had these real thick glasses. I said, that's Brisborn. I said, and everybody, I mean, all these legends. And we just looking through the glass, and it was so the resistance, just that's why they try to isolate us too, though, because still we say still shopping, still men and women shopping, men and women, you know what I'm saying, and that's even we have disagreements about to be able to have that. It plays a role. I recall one concentration camp, Stateville, and I was reading what's Nelson Mandela book, Long Walk to Freedom. Which then had as well as now some political differences. But I remember reading it, and he was talking about the struggles they was having between the ANC, PAC, Black Conscious Movement, and I was reading it, and then some cats upstairs, they was arguing about some trivial stuff, you know, so we gonna get into it. And they talk about this and this. They say, Chairman, you went off on everybody. I got to the bar. I said, damn. I say, man, I'm up here reading this book about some ideological struggles. Y'all, back and forth. I say, man, I wish I can be around this climate. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's differences, you know, I envy that. You know what I'm saying? So just to even to go around and have those type of dialogue, you know what I'm saying? It was a time that the revolutionary period in the situation. You walking down the street, I mean, man, you seeing spray paint or solid, you welcome here. It was comic. What happened to Vietnam? What's happening to Africa? You know what I'm saying? Well, you know, man, what the music, I mean, it was like, man, no social media, no nothing, you know what I'm saying? And that type of conversation, a worldview, as opposed to being subjugated to this local dynamic. And these are reaction tangles. You seeing people now, like even, because a lot of times when the slave masters and the colonizers, you can have discussion. You say, okay, we can talk now. But these are times now, certain conversations are happening, you know what I'm saying? And people saying the ante is being up, you know what I'm saying? And that's something that's therapeutic, because you know it's something bigger than this. They can run down to you so long, like, okay, we just messed up, and you know that's how it go for black folks in Chicago. Well, you know that's how it happened in Atlanta. You know that's how it goes. You know, after I said, whoa, wait a minute, but to be able to make that connect. Right. You had the Black Panther Party newspaper with people, you know, they connect with other communities, what's going on in the world. It's therapeutic. Even when you're under attack, no, I know this ain't happening to me because I'm no Capricorn. I know, no, you can run that because I ain't go to school. You know, so you because I didn't register to vote. You can run that somewhere else. I know what's happening. I know the history. I know history, and they say no one's half the battle. It's a different pride you walk with. You know, like like even know why I get up at 4:30 in the morning. You know, and be able to say that. You know, and not to be forced in some conventional definitions that, well, this is that you don't supposed to, you're supposed to deal with this way or try to regulate us to some sort of hate. You know, we talking about earlier, the narrative. No, crazy thing, we motivate out of love. Right. A love for the people, you know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted, you know what I'm saying? But to be able to know that, and to be able to know even our demise when something happens to us, we say, no, you know, I tell people, I look at the situation different. Like, man, they had to bring their best. They had to come on with us. And they still trying to attack us. You know what I'm saying? I said, you had that politic that it's embedded in you. And I say, man, I say, to this day, I say, look in the hip hop arena. You know, different names dropping. Pac? What?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Using the trauma, you know, as your armor, and then using the movement and your work as an outlet, a place to channel all that energy. I mean, James Baldwin said, like, to be Black, relatively conscious, means to be in a state of anger.
And know who done it to us, because a lot of people think Black women done this to them. A lot of people think Black men done this to them. A lot of people think Black children. We clear on the criminal. People say, well, you know, and that's humbling to know that they got the resource, but at least we know if they attack us indirectly, they come. I know where that damage come from. Right. You know what I'm saying? We know we can see the hoof prints, the pig prints on yourself. I don't care where it come from. They come in some form of dressed up, you know what I'm saying, entertainers. We clear.
We clear. Yeah. So another thing I know that you're clear on, and we're going to get you out of here on this one. We're going to close out because I think this is a concept to me that is so powerful and important for, you know, the masses of our people to understand, and even us as Panther Cub and, you know, Seeds of Revolution, like children of the movement. I'm sure you're familiar. You've quoted quite a few poets today and rappers. Khalil Gibran has the poem, your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life, longing for itself. They come through you, but they are not from you. Therefore, they belong not to you. Right. And so in listening to you always refer to your father as Chairman Fred or Mother Comrade, like it made me start to think, because oftentimes, and you know, we all know this, you know, people will come and say, thank you for sharing your mother with me. Thank you for sharing your father. Because, you know, you actually, in referring to your parents in that way, helped me to kind of make that connection. Like, wait, that's true on the reverse.
Yeah.
You know, these are our parents,
Yes.
but they don't belong to us. You know, they belong to the universe.
Yes.
They belong to the movement.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And so I wanted you to talk just a little bit about that. Like, when did you come to that consciousness? I know it may not have been, you know, one particular time. I know for me, it was just little by little I came into that consciousness, right? So, you know, when did you come into it, and why is that important for us to look at our parents as our comrades, you know, as people that don't necessarily belong to us, especially because they sacrificed their lives and in so doing our lives.
Yes.
You know, and an upbringing, you know, that we may have had or could have had they didn't make certain decisions. But, you know, we're grateful for what they've done because it was written in the cards for them to do. And we respect and honor them for the work that they did.
Yes.
So, yeah, how did you come to that? And how can we all benefit from that particular perspective or consciousness?
Kind of similar to the African axiom said, it's good for the family. May not be good for the community. What's good for the community is good for the family. You can certain situations. You say, okay, yeah, that I can see that happening in your household, so on and so forth. But to be able to get, I mean, these forces provided a prototype, a template that you said, no, that's still. That is not outdated. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can look, and they gave us examples under contested conditions. I want to stress that too, under contested conditions. Because one thing, I tell people, I say, like, I use the analogy of shadow boxer's a champ. If you ask him or her, you know what I'm saying? The thing is getting up in that ring. You know what I'm saying? To get up in that ring. You know what I'm saying? To be targeted by not just just anybody. I'm talking about targeted by them. I mean, the big kahuna of capitalism. I'm talking about, a force that people talking about to this day throughout the world. You know what I'm saying? And to maintain their humanity. You know what I'm saying? Because see, it would be a disservice to say, okay, this is just my father, and also look and say, him being Chairman Fred or Mother Comrade, it does not show that they can still be, you know what I'm saying, my grandparents' child, our parents, but that of a revolutionary, you know what I'm saying. In particular, our people are deprived of it. You can see examples right now during this period of electoral politics. You know what I'm saying. Other communities, you see actual people. Politicians, they give us entertainers. No slight on that. You know what I'm saying? How they do it. But we have a force to be reckoned with. People who can understand that again. It impacts you different to say that they. You know what I'm saying? They don't even have to know you. They're speaking for you. I was just talking about James Amos, who portrayed James Evans on Good Times.
Yeah, John Amos.
John Amos. I say, man, it was some piece of things, some footage in Jamaica, and the brothers thanking him. I say, he don't know how many children he got. I say, that impact of that, you know what I'm saying? Claudine with James Earl Jones and Diane Carroll. And these are images I tell people I recommend they watch these. I say, but we got some real deal forces too now, y'all. I mean, some tangible. I'm talking about some real. I'm not just some real deal. Who has struggles, who, you know what I'm saying, your economic issues, has, you know what I'm saying, relationships, that you can, I guarantee you can go back and look at them. In fact, we like to use the term real models as opposed to role models.
Right. Yeah.
I dare not try to take that. And we come. Sheikh Anta Diab talks about the different. We come from a different cloth. Our people. We can work in harmony. So it's, you know what I'm saying? Like I tell you, contradictions. We can work in, like, even with the gender issue, men and women, or the land. We can work in harmony. This society, this imperialism, it runs. Its position is one comes at the expense of another. You know what I'm saying? So. Either that's gonna be your father or the chairman. You know what I'm saying? We can work in harmony with this here. You know what I'm saying? That's the dynamics of us, you know. So, and we got to utilize that. We can't afford nothing less. You know what I'm saying? We say no. They came and and I tell people, just no subjective. People say sometimes, well, I know you kind of tripping, man. The police, they killed you. No. Go look past my household. Go look at. Brother told me one time. He said, man, when I got out the jail after assassinating Chairman Fred in defense of the Mod Club, He said, I didn't recognize Madison, the west side of Chicago. He said they flooded it with dope. You know what I'm saying? You man, look at your mother. Look, you get outside your household. You go look at people. We can't take no actual toll. You can see, it's like you can cut it. You can see the time period. Like, oh, that's you know what I'm saying, before they were locked up. This was going on in history. You know what I'm saying? And people who don't even know. You know, so this was the climate, the relationships. Were like people look in their households. Say, yeah, I think about this brother and sister who I know. I know, man. Her father just came home, and I was talking about. I said the time period. You could see that, you know, when she went through some struggles. In this case, the young brother in Chicago, Lil Durk. You can look at the time period, and also the other brother who FBG Duck. Both of their fathers were major targets by the government here, the Chicago police in particular. Both of their fathers. And you can literally tie in the transformation, you know what I'm saying, the time period, you know what I'm saying, open for certain conversation when their father's life and a present in their life. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to really struggle, you know. So we can't be stingy with this. You know what I'm saying? And it's also. It's kind of like these forces are like DMX's the sister he's with at first, when she spoke at his funeral, and she was talking to the sister who got the young son with her, but when she broke down that analogy about DMX being like a waterfall, I said, whoa, she hit it. And this is at a time period when the whole thing about, baby mama, all this, we can't, this antagonism, so. When she said that, the room went quiet. This ain't, man. He's like a endless waterfall. And these forces are like, people try to say, why you think they did this? Why did they assassinate Malcolm? You can't pinpoint, make no one point like, okay, they done this. They want to bring drugs in. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You certain force, you can't minimize, power. Because I say, you think they had to get rid of certain forces to bring in certain forces that had this sort of quote unquote music. They bombard these propaganda bombs. They bombard us with that. You cannot minimize. You know what I'm saying? The role of these forces. They played. Yes. Generations to come. We can't put the lid on it. It transcends gender, generational, and geographical lines. Certain things you say, okay, that's just for that's the women can only identify with that. Okay, only the men can identify with that. It transcends it. Thank you. Transcends it.
Right, and we can't put a lid on it. Just like we can't put a lid on this conversation. So what I'm gonna claim, cousin Chairman Doctor, is that for our part 2, we have your mom join us as well.
Yes.
Our season 5 is actually going to be during Black August. So that's a little plug.
We're gonna make it happen,
listeners. So thank you so much for your time today and for all of your wisdom and sharing. And we until next time.
Until next time. Hey, I love y'all, cousins. Proud of y'all. Keep doing what it do. Let's continue to make history, take history, and tape history.
Thank you. We're proud of you. Everybody, Cash App is Save the Hampton House.
Yes, Cash App, $, Save the Hampton House. Yes,
Fred
indeed.
Hampton Jr.
Dr. Cameron Fred.
Right.
That's such a powerful episode.
Yes, it was.
So live the spirit of Fred Hampton. Chairman Fred Hampton.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
so happy that we were able to have that conversation with him. Because like we were saying, like we talk amongst ourselves so much as like Panther Cubs and children of the movement. And and like I said, I've seen plenty of his interviews, but for us to talk to each other, I mean, that's why we exist, right? That's why this podcast exists, for us to really bring the conversations together. Right. And just I just can't. It's a good feeling.
It is
to be in community with other people who share your narrative, because even like for me, like just thinking about like, Asada's daughter, or thinking about, Tupac, and then him, like thinking about, being in the womb and having these experiences, and me sharing that, because y'all have a different story. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But to know that mommy was in exile and in prison, while pregnant with me, and to hear other people just talk about, how they carry that too. The waking up in the morning.
Right.
And I love what he said about like, because people can look at that as like, okay, something wrong with you. But he's like, no, I'm in tune now. Exactly. I'm in tune forever to that moment in time. Where his life, actually could have ended. At the time that it was beginning. Because he was born 25 days later.
You just said that. I was, as we were doing the interview, I was sitting there like, what a blessing it is that we're able to sit here today.
It's a miracle that he is here.
Exactly.
Because he's supposed to be here.
He's supposed to be here.
And so
just as we are, just as you are. With like you said, like that.
It's
so
like
many
feeling,
things.
And his mother too, Mama Akua too.
Yes.
It's a feeling of euphoria. It's like this euphoric
it's a high
atmosphere right now, right? It's like, woo, my eyes is all like, whoa, man, where are we? And
it was good.
It was good. It was really good.
So thank you, Dr. Fred.
All power to the people.
All power to the people.
Free them all. That is the call.
So please donate to the Hampton House. It is the house. We didn't get to talk about it, but it is the house that Fred Hampton Sr. actually grew up in Illinois. And they're doing, a lot of that movement work that Fred talked about. They're doing it in that house. And not just, the movement work is about the community work, right? And so let's not divorce the two. He's chairman of the Black Panther Party Cubs, but through that work, they're working on, uplifting the local community there.
Absolutely.
So, we said it earlier, the Cash App tag is right there at the bottom of the screen. Support.
And let's
save the Hampton House.
Yes.
Save the Hampton House.
Thank you for tuning into this powerful episode. We appreciate you as always. And until next time,
be blessed. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Look for me in the whirlwind.
Hey, revolutionaries. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Seeds of Revolution, Daughters of the Whirlwind podcast. To join the family, like, subscribe, and share with who you think should be a part of the fam. Comment if y'all want us to cover specific topics or if you have questions. Peace.